How's it going, guys? Today, since it's getting right around the time summer's rolling around, everybody's gonna have eyes on their mind. There's been a couple of good bites already. We're gonna go over the concept of basically what we call mowing the lawn. There's a really important concept to understand, especially when you're starting out and you don't have the luxury of getting a lot of intel from your fishing network because you haven't built one yet. So when we were starting out and in this position, we would get to the harbor to launch the boat. There would be a ton of boats launching, and you know everybody knew ahis was biting. And normally we would run into two scenarios. Either we'd head out there and we'd be, driving around for a while and look around and notice like, oh shoot, where are all the boats that were at the harbor? Because there's none around us right now. Or we'd get, we'd get some intel and we would go to that area and we would drive around for a while. Let's just say we gave it a good hour or maybe at the most two. And there'd be so many boats there that we would say, too much guys over here, the fish not biting. And then we'd drive off. We'd end up driving off, looking for something on our own. And don't get me wrong, you can find stuff on your own, but it helps if you have experience and you kind of know your fishing grounds. You know kind of where the eyes typically show up year after year after year after year. If you don't have that knowledge yet, then what we were doing was, let's just say we came out of Waianae and we heard that the fish was biting outside the power plant. So we go outside the power plant and we spend an hour or two there, and then we say, the fish not biting, we're going to look for someplace else. And then we drive to the pinnacle and, no more nothing over there. Okay, then we go check CO buoy. Then we drive all the way to CO buoy. Oh, no more nothing over there. And then, okay, we'll come back to the inside, and that'll take pretty much the whole day. So we'd spend the whole day driving around in areas where there were no fish, trying to find something, and then come back to the ramp. We never catch no eyes, and then find out, oh yeah, outside the power plant when bite, like 4 hours later or after lunch or after the tide change. So the time that you're driving around is like traveling time. And then once you get into an area that the fish are, now you're actually fishing. So a better way to do it is when you get to an area, looks good, get there's birds around, there's most times there's going to be lots of other boats around, and you pay attention and you notice, oh, that boat over there, he went stop, he's fighting an ahi. And maybe that boat over there a mile away, he stopped and he's fighting an ahi. Now you kind of set up a playing field for yourself. What I used to do is I used to just put a mark where I heard the fish was biting, and then where I see other people that day fighting a fish. And then I would just go back and forth between those marks and basically wait. The fish not going to bite all day long. They're going to bite when, most times early in the morning, and then around the tide changes is when the major bites will happen. But you'll get sporadic bites all throughout the day. But if you're not in the zone where the fish are congregated, then you're going to make it real hard for yourself. you're gonna basically get lucky and catch an ahi, but you won't catch them consistently. So let's say you get into a zone and you mark it off like, okay, this 3 mile area is the looks like the zone, and it let's just say it is too crowded. If you just kind of, rather than driving in there where everybody is, where the birds are, and this and that, and get frustrated because this guy too close to you or whatnot, or you got to turn. What I normally do is I just kind of stay along the outskirts of the area and be patient. Because going back to the original story, most guys, after a few hours, if they don't get a bite, they're gonna get impatient. They're gonna leave, and then now I have more room to move into, closer into the so-called zone, right? And I have more freedom to just kind of drive around the area as I'd like, and you'd be surprised how many times a zone that you know looked good or was good, or maybe the fish was there the day before and was biting good, but the day that you show up, which happens to most of us, right? The day that we show up, oh, the fish not biting that good as it was the day before. But if you just stay in that area and wait the crowd out, you'll instead of not catching anything, you'll scratch one or two fish out of that area. Um, that's what happens a lot of times. For us, I don't have the luxury of just going as much as I want to anymore. So I get the intel, but the intel's a day or two old. So by the time I'm in that area, maybe a good bunch of the fish moved on or whatever already. But there's still a couple hanging around. So rather than looking for the next hot zone, I just kind of stay in that area and scratch out my my one or two fish, and if it's still good that day that I show up, then great, I might catch more. But and then now that I've been doing this for a while, I can be in the area and look and say like, okay, the fish you know was here the past couple of days, and um it it's too slow for me to stay here right now. But so let me look at my GPS and see, oh, get another spot over here, maybe 3 miles away, um that in the past I know the ahis used to hang out of. I caught a bunch of ahis over there, so I can go poke over there for a while and then come back. Or even if you get into an area, here's another option for you. You get into the area, you look, oh man, get so much boats over here. You play the outskirts for a while, and then you go away. You go look around. You go look around. So you go look around, but don't go so far away that you can't make it back to that zone and give it enough time to um soak that zone that had fish. So like when I go out there, I go off the intel that I have. Like if I know the fish was here the day before, unless there's something that's really telling me that they're not here anymore. Maybe the whales came true, or maybe I don't see no signs, and now I'm forced to go look somewhere else. But if there's any chance that I can scrape off a fish or two in that zone, I'm just gonna stay there. And if you're starting out, that's your best approach to catching an ahi.